What is good? What is good, you guys? Welcome back. So, there's so much that I actually want to say, and I hope that this video is not too long. We may do a few parts, but I'm just going to speak on what I've been thinking and feeling a little bit when it comes to manifestation and how this is an energy game. This is a game of energy. And I want to talk a little bit about the matrix. I've been wanting to speak about it for quite some time, but I've wanted to bring it to you in a way that you've never heard before. So if you are listening over on YouTube, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And if you're over listening on my podcast on Apple or Spotify, thank you so much. Make sure you follow for more content. So I want to talk about this, you guys, because if you stick with me through this video, you'll understand where you are manifesting from. Now, the whole game of this matrix is to make you forget that there is only one mind, and there is only one mind, the mind of the all, which is that formless awareness that I am. So, thoughts and emotions and 3D appearances, including forms, any form that you see that you think is out here, all rise in consciousness. So, what does this mean? This means that the 3D world of form is illusory. It is illusory in nature. It is an illusion. This is everything that you see. It is illusory in nature. And it's illusory because it's not fixed. So that means it's malleable and it's changing, just like all the things that rise in consciousness. And anything that can be changed is not who you are. And if you are that consciousness, that awareness that I am, you are that, and the expression of that thought and consciousness, that awareness is the illusory or 3D world. So you are not what is actually appearing in the 3D. And most of us are manifesting from the 3D instead of this oneness, this consciousness, this awareness, this I am. So I'm going to share with you the difference in the two and why, when you are manifesting from your true nature, why it is always given. So when you believe that you are the separate self, what you're doing is you're manifesting from inside the story, the 3D story, the world of form, this illusion. And so when we say, do thoughts create? Thoughts do create in a sense, but I feel like this is a tricky statement, or when we say thoughts create, it can get tricky here because we believe we take ourselves to be the world of form. We take ourselves to be this illusion. And so, for instance, like I was saying, thoughts, emotions, and appearances all rise in consciousness, but they are not consciousness. They are not the awareness. So, when we see something inside our 3D, so you're trying to manifest something, you're trying to change something, you're fixing something, and it's all this resistance, this fear that you feel. It comes from you believing that this is my little life, this is my thoughts. There's a lot of grabbing, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of holding on to maintaining that state. So you're trying to maintain this state, trying to fix and manifest from inside this illusion, this form. And especially when it's something that you're trying to change or something that you don't like or prefer, it's usually coming from I am not or I don't have, which is the illusion because I am says and implies that you have all of your desires. But when we are in this 3D world of form, believing that we are that separate self, we're thinking that we're the doer. And so we're trying to change inside of this story instead of dropping the story and manifesting from our true nature. So, for instance, if you're doing this, you're asking the questions like, what do I do? What do I need to change? What do I need to fix? What do I need to get back to? Can someone else manifest something that I'm trying to manifest at the same time? There's all these third parties and they did this to me and this person is doing this. So when you're looking from the 3D and in that story, in the world, taking the forms to tell you who you're being, you're dependent on what's happening out here. You're trying to control. So you're this separate self that's trying to control a narrative inside of an illusion. So this is why you can't manifest from an illusion or from I am not or I don't have. And why is that, you guys? Because it does not exist. Because there is no lack in the divine mind. So you're manifesting from a story of I am not that's not even real. And you're trying to change and move around in that state because you take yourself to be this small 3D version. You're manifesting from a limited perspective when you're manifesting from inside a story, inside an illusion, inside a form, a 3D form that's always changing. So it can never be who you are. It can never be the awareness, the consciousness, because you are that and it's before all things, before the forms. So, when you're manifesting as I am, or what people like to say the God state, like I said, the one trick that the Matrix has is it does its job to fool you into believing that you have to figure out how to manifest or to get to the God state. But you're always there. You've always been there. That's the trick, that you are always there, that you've never left it. And I am is the present moment. So it's present. Again, it's the consciousness, it's the awareness, it's before the forms that appears. So it's nowhere to get to. That's why this present moment, it's the I am is the present moment. It's present. It's before everything, before anything you can add on to it. And that's why it's nowhere to get to, because it's now here. Remember, you guys, we've talked about this before. The difference, though, is in the awareness. Instead of manifesting inside a story, you are manifesting inside of your name, inside of your true nature, inside of I am, inside of your identity, inside of oneness. So you're not manifesting from this lower perspective, this limitation. You're manifesting from I am, which has all realities, you exist in every reality. So this is the difference. You're not manifesting, bringing everything to this present moment. So that's why when you're manifesting and you're dropping the stories and you're manifesting from that clean slate, I am is always in the now, the present moment, with no consideration to anything that's happened to it previously. So when you're manifesting from the present moment and you're saying I am, you are manifesting inside of your true nature, inside of I am. So there's a scripture from John 16:23 through 24. I'm going to read that. And it says, "In that day, you will ask nothing of me. Truly, truly, I say to you, whatever you ask of the Father in my name, he will give to you. Until now, you have asked nothing in my name. Ask and you will receive, that your joy may be full." Now, I really like this, you guys, because in the previous scriptures, it talks about you basically overcoming the world, which is overcoming the 3D limitations. And it says, "In that day, you will ask nothing of me," because heaven asks nothing of you, like it says in A Course in Miracles, that you have all things already. Within I am, all things exist. So I am not or I don't have is an illusion, and forms that pass can never be the truth of who you are. So again, when he says, "Until now," so he's saying until this present moment, you have not asked in I am. So you've never truly asked in your full power. See, again, most of us are manifesting from circumstances and inside circumstances where we take ourselves to be this illusion, this person who had this separate self who believes the thoughts and the stories and the state of being and the having to move things around within this limited just perspective. But when you come outside of that perspective and you see that you're manifesting from the source power, from your true nature, now you know that your manifesting is instant and that you exist in every reality. So it's not to change this form over here because the form is already changing. That's why you feel the resistance. That's why you feel the fear, because you're like, oh my gosh, like you're resisting the change, you're resisting the flow of that true power, that true nature to move through you, to move you to your desires. But because you take yourself as the separate self and you believe that my SP did this to me, that my boss said that to me, that my money situation is like this, you're holding on to that illusory identity. And so you're trying to manifest within that story to change that story. So now do you see how low you think of yourself when you're manifesting from that perspective? You're not seeing yourself in your fullness. This is the difference, you guys, because before it is asked, it's already given. When you are asking from I am, everything is already given to you. Okay. So again, you are asking from your name. You're not asking from the name in I am, inside of I am. You're asking from your name inside of your little story. So you're asking from John, from Katie, from whatever your name is. If it was me, I would be asking from Autumn. I would be asking from Autumn, and Autumn in that state believes that I'm this little form with all these little stories that came from beliefs in the thoughts, and the thoughts arose in consciousness. So I'm asking as Autumn with conditions, with my dramas, with my traumas, with my old stories, the emotions and the beliefs that I am not. So I'm asking inside an illusion, inside of the stories and the beliefs that I have made up, that have made a false state of being that I am not or I don't have. So manifesting from forms or anything that can be changed is manifesting from limitation, is manifesting from a small separate self. So all forms are effects. All forms are effects of a state of being, just like we talked about yesterday. It doesn't matter how the form appeared, it appeared from a state of being. But manifesting from consciousness, from awareness, from the present moment as I am, is to manifest from the unchanging, from the limitlessness that you are, from the wholeness, from having already. Remember, ask and you will receive. Or if you're asking, you have to believe that you already have. This is manifesting from I am. This is manifesting from oneness. To know that nothing and no one is separate outside of you, but everyone is playing the part for your manifestation to come to you, because there's only one mind. But when you believe that you're the separate self, you're trying to change all these conditions that you've placed on yourself, that you believe inside this little bubble that you've created. So you're taking yourself to be the doer instead of manifesting from I am, knowing that higher self is the doer that moves the energy through you. But you're contracting, and that's where that fear comes from. That's where that separation comes from. That's where you're thinking that there's others outside of you that are doing something to you. But it's because you're taking yourself to be this limited self. And I really want you guys to understand that, because if you're manifesting from consciousness, from awareness, that unchanging, that's before the thoughts and the stories that arose out of the consciousness, then that means that I am is the cause. I am is always the cause. And the forms, and all forms, are the effects. So again, you're manifesting from dead effects. Okay. So I want to leave you guys with this, because creation is complete. Remember, whatever you want is already done when you're looking from I am, from that wholeness. Again, A Course in Miracles says that you are an idea within the mind of the all, but you also are the operant power. So, again, like I say, you guys, your only job is to express I am, but from wholeness, because there is nothing to fix. It's all done, it exists now. Awareness has overcome every reality already because creation is finished. And so that means that you already have overcome the 3D as well. And that's what you need to understand, because you exist in every reality. You have already overcome. Okay? First John chapter 4 verse 4, and it says, "You dear children are from God." And I put over there, "I am, and have overcome them." Who's them? The 3D circumstances, the limitations, the forms, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. What does this mean, you guys? I am is greater than the illusory separate self, the one who is trying to uphold a illusion, but also change the circumstances from inside the world of form. Again, so that's why you're mindful of thoughts, because thoughts do create a separate self. It's the thoughts that creates the illusion of a separate self from the state of being the I am not. And remember, I am not does not exist, or I don't have does not exist. So you have to move from out of that story, dropping the illusion, knowing that you are already whole, coming back to oneness with I am. And then that's where you can choose again. So, taking it back to our conversation yesterday, where we talked about states and how they're formed, that's why you will be mindful of the thoughts, because the thoughts, again, do create that separate self. All right. So, there's so much more I want to share with you on this, but I feel that it's important for you to chew on this and listen to a few times, and maybe take some notes, and we'll expand in the next part. But I want to leave that there, because this is where all of the resistance and all of the fears and the they're doing this to me and thinking all these things, this is where it comes from, you guys, because you're manifesting inside a story, inside a circumstance that you no longer want, that is not preferred. You're thinking from inside that story. You feel that you're that separate self, the one who takes on the thoughts and the emotions that come from that state of being, of lack, or whatever it is. So you have to drop the story and realize that when you're manifesting from that I am, that all there is wholeness, all there is oneness, and whatever you ask is already given. So I'm going to leave this video here. I don't even know what I'm going to call it yet, but I'm going to leave this video here. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, and subscribe over on YouTube. If you are listening over on the podcast, make sure you follow for the next one. We're going to go deeper into this. Remember, if you would like a phone or email session with me, go ahead and get down in the description box below. That's how you reach me, that link, and you can sign up for a session with me there. And yeah, you guys, remember, imagination is always on your side, and I am too. Bye.